Hello everyone, this is me, this is Zufar Bikbov on my videos with exercising drawing, exercising sketching, sketchizing as announced on Plein Air Live with a streamline. And I'm going to do an analysis of this view. I did some updates in my studio, so my sketching and drawing sessions should be much more enjoyable. Even though when we take a video from screen, it's not perfect at the same time. When we talk about values and composition, everything else which is related just to drawing part, colors are not that important. Of course, when you're outside, you see much wider view, and here already some framing is done. And of course, I can just move it a little bit more up and down, but overall picture is like this. Okay, it has some sky, and I'm using square format because that really helps you to start with something and then move forward. So what I was excited about when I decided to draw and paint this view. I painted this view. Original was painted and sold during Plein Air Wayne in 2018, I believe. Yes, that was almost 6 years ago. And I really like lilacs. We have many of them in Russia, and this is probably the most common one, purple one. I like whites, I like dark purples. They're all nice. And cameras at that time were not as good as now, and this is just JPEG image, and now I take a raw format and do some adjustments right on site. So, but anyway, even here you can see that the contrast and sharp edges of these leaves and flowers. And flowers here looks rather plain, but since I painted that, I'll be able to explain you how to paint lilacs, and contre-jour effect, which is definitely here is one of the best keys. So lilacs is my focal point, and I need to find their right shape. I think is pretty nice. I don't need to do much of rearrangement. I'd rather like when this maybe part goes slightly down, and I will open you a secret. Finally, painting will be a vertical, and of course those who are learning with me, they know that I prefer vertical format 4:3 because I want to squeeze on my screen as much needed information as possible. So square format, that's what I tend to use for the studies recently, but vertical formats for learning, and then for bigger paintings could be square, it could be horizontal, like more contemporary touch. Anyway, let's talk about this view now. From initial final decision, I removed this chair. I think it's a little bit a distractor, even though it's create a story. So you may consider placing it, and nothing's wrong. And you see this chair has very nice contrast against the dark, like entrance to this shack. This shack is, it doesn't have any windows or doors. It's just to hide from rain, I guess, or from the hot weather. It's pretty chilly inside, and it's not far from the pool. What you see here on the right side, those blue things, is a pool. It's not water, it's just a tent over the pool. So it's in April, and they didn't open the pool yet, but the weather is coming. So what else can I tell you about this view? I like this window. I like this wall. In addition to lilacs, I like this, that it's not tall, and roof is very, very nice. I think it's made with wooden shingles. And it's all looks like all European, English or French style thing. And river stones, definitely Wayne is in Pennsylvania. It's very typical for French and German style of architecture. This grass, it had some flowers. You barely can see anything here. And again, photograph looks very flat, but I'll find colors there. And of course, on this view, it's hyper contrast. So this darkness here is not black. This is not black, and this is obviously not black as well. I'll show you how it works, and when we'll be painting, I'll show you not this type of screen because analysis is done, but rather a better picture. So let's start. And I will do here not my regular sketching. Why? Because of I have a lesson for you, and as usually, I try to do a some sort of square with space around. I think this whole composition can fit into a square pretty nicely. Yes, and space around helps me to extend my composition up and down. I will leave some space here on the right and left side to make like more like thumbnail sketch, just to see values, overall shapes, etc. So do more sketches. That really helps. And so also I don't really much concerned about these borders if compared to the situation when I really start thinking about my painting composition when I deal with a canvas. So what we have here, we have pretty high horizon line here, and you can see that by architecture, and we have very little slope here going down and more steep like angle here. Looks like I'm just going to repeat this, but then I will decide, do I want to make painting smaller, so to have all these objects bigger, or I want to include more objects. So again, when we draw, we really start thinking, because before that we just on emotional level try to absorb, and then we start trying to understand what do we like in this scene. You know, the window obviously can be moved to the right if I do a vertical format, because the wall itself, at least here, doesn't look very interesting. So I can really just highlight where my entrance will be. Then we have pre-amorphous shape. This is some sort of vine, ivy, growing, and it has nice shape overall. I think the shapes here and textures are a big thing. So we have a vertical line, horizontal, surface, horizontal surface, so different in texture. Then we have a roof itself, which is different in texture. Okay, then we have this lilacs, which is almost like a, I don't know, magical cloud here. And it looks brighter, and there is a flavor when you're standing there. So, and we have this chair, which I will remove from my composition. Again, you're welcome to use it. So I will try in simple shapes to find the shape of this shrub cloud, and that's quite important, the kind of outer dimensions of all of this. These straws, if you find nice shape for them, can also be a great addition. But overall, I think that they're good. And once you start getting losing where is what, you can kind of think one more time and start kind of separating your shrub, your lilacs from the background, which is dark in this case. Also, I like how these. It's day was already. It wasn't much morning. You could see that the overhang, which I think we can make this edge of the roof shadow, like here, horizontal on eye level. I think that reads pretty nicely, and all this part is still in shade. Okay, that's another separation from my lilacs here. And then I like more vertical. Maybe I'm making some architectural mistake. Maybe this wood is always square, and maybe I will move it more to the left. Maybe I have to remove it, because right now I think it draws too much attention. And the approach, when you have something which draws too much attention, you can kind of soften, maybe, I don't know, somehow to show these edges softer, even though or we can make this entire window smaller. We can always play with it in our second sketch, but right now, so these rocks, I will show just a couple of them just to make a feeling and create a feeling of the wall. And our grass definitely here is more like horizontal. We start feeling, right? Even though yes, it's flat, we have wall here, we have flat surface here, and even for this part, which is vertical as well, you can use a vertical pencil strokes, and that will help you to understand where is what. Also for the roof, even though there are shingles and you see these edges, it will be a pretty easy for you if you do it this way. And then if you want, you can do in your drawing this kind of perpendicular lines. So all this area with this vine, it's also pretty dark. Of course, there are some highlights, but compared to our lilacs, it's dark. If you and then I will take a softer pencil now, and then somewhere you will find design of these shadows. I think it's pretty nice reading already, so I don't really need to redefine things. And here, and again, this is just first approach, right? Doesn't have to be super, but if you already right from the beginning enjoy how things are happening, it definitely helps the whole process. You're kind of getting speed at the same time. Try to keep you be emotionally responsive to what you are doing at the same time. Keep your analytical part also active. So here we have pretty strong light going this. Since I don't have that chair, I will have just this cast shadow on the wall and on the grass, and it should be somehow, overall the shape of cast shadow should be related, and overall it will have its own outlines as well. Maybe this is too big. Window. It's big. It's bigger on photograph because it's closer to us. But when you look with your own eyes, you don't see that much of a distortion. So it looks for me good enough. And what's happening here with my background? A very soft growth of other vines there. There are some trees. Yeah, there is a tree. I can show it to you just this way. And I do not know. This just connection here is two sharp edges. If I paint that, I'd rather probably show denser branches over there. And what's happening here on the left side are these other trees. I need to leave some, I leave in my painting some space to breathe through, unless I specifically create feeling of congestion. Here it's a nice sunny day, and air is probably very light, a lot of light everywhere. And what I want to show here is see exiting this shag, you step on these stones, and I think, and it looks for me very cool. So there are flat rock slabs here, and if you want to show some grass, after we did those bigger lanes, you can just show it It's like some patches. All right, when I look at this, the whole sketch, it's a little, for me, disorganized. I cannot, I mean, I can paint it, but look at this shape, this repeats this shape, even though, of course, they'll be different in colors and values. There's some leaves here, I think, nice addition. And then this kind of, I did not really find exactly what I want here, even though it's soft edge, but it will be different color green. And yes, I think for those trees in the distance, I need softer edges and separate them. I cannot really say for sure. I think there is another tree. It's too many, I think. I don't want that many trees over there. And the whole this area, I think, pulls too much attention in this nice view. So let me kind of rearrange this scene just in smaller vertical format. I will take softer pencils. I think that's could be a little easier. And I already have some sort of thinking process here. And even though I know that the horizon line is high, that's our eye level, I think I will take less of the roof space. I will take less of this part, so I'll have more of this house, of this shack. Amount for that vine is for the darker vine is pretty accurate. I like it. Okay, then we have this door, and in front of this door we have this lilacs. Just looking here, I will use that those definitions which I found. I like this kind of notches, this like flowers with peaks going up. At this moment also you can do some rearrangement, and it's coming out naturally, because first, when we do first one, it's a kind of very stiff. We are trying to understand what we see there, kind of saying, wow, I didn't see that, this is a tough thing, or whatever. I can surprise you. But with the second one, you're dealing like you're coming or driving the same to this place which was new for you last time. Now it's much easier. So lower, cast shadow here. And I don't want to put this window too high. I will include it at the same time. I don't know, will I get enough in this drawing, but I'm trying vertical format. I think it looks overall kind of more dynamic, possibly. I can make even feeling that I'm standing closer to this whole building, so this angle could be steeper. And every time I look at my reference image, I find at times a solution for kind of trouble areas, which I just realized during my first sketch. And at times I just see something new. And most of those things, they don't scare me. They just make me to find them and incorporate, if possible, into my drawing. All right. So this even this path should have its own nice shape. I'm not doing that pull too contemporary. It just looks like the way. Oh, I don't have any place left for my wind. So no those branches, okay? So I don't want those sticks to connect one part to another. They're too sharp in edge. At the same time, I will try to maybe create some sort of opening here. And maybe there is some loan, and I need to find edge, or at least you know, kind of lines like this could be cast shadow from other trees which are outside of the view. So now let's see what we got in here. Compositionally wise, I think I like this better now, and it doesn't mean that I found better shapes, but I would say the lilac shape, this versus this, could be better. And always can take harder pencil and add some openings, not sky opening, but opening between branches. And you can always resketch this shrub for better. You know, all these curves, all these little things, even a small sketch, they give you feeling of dimensions, a feeling of those parts, even if you plan to work on bigger canvas, not this tiny. Why not? You can do tiny too, right? So it's really helps. And I think this corner, if we have this shadow from this lilacs touching it, not even touching it, kind of extending, it's not a bad approach. And I think this should work well with my standard canvas for classes, for webinars, for classes, workshops, often as well, but especially for online classes. I start usually with a 12 by 9, and if it's 4-step class, I try to do also 16 by 20. So you can see how with the bigger brushes and with more needed paint, how I work with the palette, etc. So shall I do one more sketch? I think we're still feeling lost here, do we? Right, so I will do one more sketch. Nothing's wrong with doing more sketch. You can squint looking at your sketch as well, because this will repeat things again. So now we can think like where the edge of this, let's say, shack, and how these things would extend. So you really can do that on your final sketch, just you're trying to make it cleaner. Sorry for torturing you with these sketches, but I'm sure that it's better to do mistakes and go through those warnings now rather than when you paint. Because even this, first we go through simplification, second we go through difficult parts. I will add this this window later. And so this is most intricate because we're basically creating based on motif, but our own version of this lilac tree. And when we'll be painting, especially with the first layer, we'll be using brush. And I think after drawing it, having accidentally nice shape created has much higher chance rather than hoping it from just seeing it. Hope you are not tired of sketching. If once you know the value of sketching, I mean, how important is that, you're actually getting excited. You see right on your sketch how your painting is going to look like. It looks like you're thinking about your children, creating family, like what you want them to be, what kind of course you want them to be happy. You want your painting also to be have a happy life, the way it's created, so everyone enjoys you, the person who will own it, or you will give it to someone. And the whole process of working on it is a great thing. So I decided that here my shadow will be extending to corner, and then this window, what to do with this window, include it fully or no. I think it's getting too close. Let me just put it like right on the edge here. So now think values, since we're doing it like third time. So value of this shadow is pretty strong, pretty deep. But deepest, of course, inside of the building. When I did the original, I think I didn't take good care of some like lines here, and I got it a little wrong. It was not right for perspective lines. Yeah, I think this trunk stem of the shrub should start somewhere here. So now I start seeing light in my painting. So we can see where we would like this to be. Yeah, that's where our background starts. And I'll paint almost abstractly those trees in the distance. And I'll separate them, of course, with the temperature of the green. It will be cooler green, presence of purples. At the same time, my yellows will be very muted. Be no bright yellows over there. And at times it just feels that's too far. I mean, too high, and maybe angle is too steep. Camera does it too steep. You don't have to do what the camera tells you, what camera shows you. Well, I think now I can stop, and I can really start sketching or transferring this drawing to my canvas. We'll do that with the next step. How much time I spent? Overall, I spent, of course, with talking about half an hour. And I think we, in this test mode, went over some difficult parts, which could be almost 100% a trap. And you really could realize that this is shape of that not working, or the position of the window is not the best place. And then what you're going to do with painting, you probably will end up leaving it as is, and then you'll always know that there you could do differently. But or correcting it, and that will be, I'm sure it will take easily half an hour to fix some big or even a little smaller compositional mistake. All right, so we'll use these sketches, and so I hope you like this format of teaching. We'll see you at the next steps, again with a better reference image.